Amazing battle. Amazing battle.
You know, the conversation that she spoke about when I said, I'll marry you, it was like a bad time.
And she was saying things like, you know, nobody's going to be there for me, nobody's going to support me. And she just kept shooting me down. So I was like...
Papoose and Remy Ma used to be the pair that everyone looked up to, whose love story was said to be unbreakable. Papoose was the model of loyalty for 6 years while Remy was inside. He never abandoned her, never entertained other women, and made sure she knew he was so frantic to get close to her that he even tried to enter prison with a skeleton key, endangering his freedom. But what else could it be? When he couldn't visit because of the system, did he give up? Unfortunately, he married her over the phone, ensuring he was there to make sure she had everything she needed, plan their ideal wedding, and give her the life she deserved as soon as she left. But they stayed locked in no matter what.
So I was like, I'll marry you. And she flipped on me. And honestly, I don't think it was the reason for her flipping on me was what she said. The reason why I think she flipped on me was because I took it like, and I felt like she's been lied to in the past, and men have such a bad reputation for not keeping their word, for not being loyal, for not being there for no one when they're going through hard times, and just not.
It appeared as though their love story had ended happily when they welcomed their daughter into the world in 2018. No one could ever keep them apart. They were a power couple, not just a husband and wife. Papoose loved his family without conditions and was a proud parent, making sure Remy and their kid were doing well all the time. But somewhere along the line, something wasn't quite right behind the scenes, even though everyone thought they had it all. The vibe in their relationship shifted, and despite the fact that they kept posting things like, it was all the same, people started to notice little nuances, and something seemed off, but nobody could have predicted what would happen next. Papoose had remained faithful for years, but suddenly there were rumors that Remy wasn't giving it his all. Initially, there were only murmurs, but shortly started to build up, and all of a sudden the biggest warning sign was seen. No one immediately noticed when Remy failed to mention Papoose on Instagram or send him a meaningful note because he always made sure to give Dad his flowers on Father's Day, announcing to the world what a fantastic husband and father he was. But then all fell silent, and fans started to wonder what was going on and whether there was trouble in paradise. It was at this point that the internet really started to buzz. Papoose posted a sentimental Father's Day greeting when he shared a family photo without Remy in it. People understood something was really wrong. Remy's child from a previous relationship was also not present.
Very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, because I like them too. Very unfortunate, but you know, we don't be knowing what folk be going through behind closed doors, so I don't know what really happened. I remember I spoke on it one time, but I don't know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What made everybody move the way they were moving. But I know know about shit, man. Like, it's crazy. I know about this shit. The marriage shit is hard. Well, I know one thing, like that, you gotta have the right person.
Subsequently, the allegations intensified, with some asserting that Remy had been skulking around with the block captain, battle rapper Easy, and not just anyone else. In that scenario then, the whole thing was about to fall apart. The internet realized immediately that something was wrong when Remy Ma tweeted a single word about Papoose on Father's Day. As everybody who has followed them for years knows, Remy always made sure that be kind to Papoose. She would thank her spouse online on key events every year, emphasizing to everyone that he was one of the most sincere men in the game. But this time, nothing. No Instagram post, no tweet, and no thank you note. Inquiries regarding Remy's whereabouts, why she hadn't posted about you, and whether everything was okay were all over his remarks. People began to really get involved after that. One even penned it. You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her. But now you're seeing the truth, was the comment that threw the internet into a frenzy because Papoose didn't respond or disregard it, as it conveyed a lot.
Life, regular ups and downs, but you get with somebody that ain't right, but it's gonna tear your ass up. And you gonna wish you ain't never did that shit. You probably, if you ain't strong enough, you probably ain't gonna never do it again. But I'm gonna do it again one day. I ain't doing no court.
Okay, so we're done spectating, speculating. Now it's just aggravating. Remy Ma and Papoose, it it seems like I'm finally not together because her new dude or new boo had an audio saying she'd been in my bed. So I talked about this before. I forgot when it first came out. I think we were all blown away like, oh, you cheated on the man that held you down while you were in jail, which doesn't mean anything, by the way, okay? It's way easier to have somebody in jail and be in a relationship. All you gotta do is take them snacks, do conjugal visits, and,
Then the rumors became even more frenzied, with some saying that Remy had been skulking around with the block captain, battle rapper Easy, and not just anybody else. Everything would explode out if that were the case, and when Remy Ma posted a single phrase, the internet immediately realized something was off. About the Papoose for Father's Day, Remy always made sure to show her affection for Papoose on big occasions, as you may already know if you've been following them for years. Reminding everyone that her husband was one of the most sincere men in the game, she would go online each year to thank him. But this time, nothing. No Instagram post, no tweet, and no thank you note. Fans flooded his comments with inquiries regarding Remy's whereabouts and the reasons behind her failure to include him in every article. Rumors that Remy was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain started to surface just when many people believed things couldn't get any crazier. But that was not the case. There were actual signs that something was happening, not just idle internet speculations. Videos of Remy and EA's being too comfortable together, their body language looking a little too familiar, and the fact that EA's was hanging out with Papoose were started to be played, which only made the situation worse. When Papoose found out that his own wife might be skulking around with Ease, he was ready to deal with it because he doesn't put up with disrespect. Let's just say that things didn't go well for Eaz when the rumors started and the public started talking about what happened when Papoose and Eaz eventually met. When rumors circulated that Remy was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain, many weren't sure what to think, but it was clear that Papoose wouldn't ignore it. The idea that his own wife would cheat on him with someone he knows was too much to handle, and Papoose has always been a man of respect. Ignore rumors that Eaz didn't have a good time when he finally met Papoose. Some claim that Papoose addressed him head-on, and rather than debating, he handled it with straight hands like a true man would. Papoose seemed to have said nothing at all. He simply swung first, and it was so simple that he was knocked out in a flash. The battle was done by the time anyone noticed what was happening, and instead of accepting responsibility for the incident, Easy pretended to be the victim on social media. On Twitter, he posted cryptic messages like, "You all want something bad to happen to me so bad," which made it seem like people were pursuing him in vain. Even made an effort to be critical of Papoose, saying that real men do real things, but wonder what? Papoose said nothing, which was telling because he would have stopped the rumors right away if they weren't genuine. He would not have just let things happen because he has always been the type to protect his family. The fact that he stayed mute and let others think what they wanted was a blatant sign that the fight was real and that the accusations about Remy were more than just gossip, even though people use his name to incite drama. Since the suspicions were now about more than simply adultery, the internet was convinced that Remy Ma had made a grave error. Since Remy had nowhere else to go at this point, everyone was curious about what she would do next. After that, a lot of people began to dig, and even a message was left. Papoose was accused of creeping with a man, and it was about her really touching him. That type of disdain doesn't simply disappear in hip-hop. The fact that Papoose didn't respond to or deny the comment alone put the internet into a frenzy, which stated volumes. It stated, "You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her. But now you're seeing the truth."
And you're back in the house, and she want to redecorate, then that's the problem. I told y'all living together.
The block got easier as Remy Ma's condition deteriorated worse. When Gay Gotti took the stage, Captain, the battle rap community threw her on full blast, eliminating any doubt about what had happened. Was it going to ignore Remy's numerous sly strategies, so he confronted her in front of a sizable crowd to ensure that everyone knew the truth.
Amazing battle.
The reason that people were discussing Easy's response the most was that, instead of dismissing it or even rejecting it, he publicly exposed her in a way that went beyond mere battle rap contempt. Merely remained there, silently taking it all in, without responding or retaliating, which is a sign of guilt in combat rap. The internet went berserk, the crowd went crazy, and suddenly, even though Remy tried to keep her cool, her reputation was deteriorating. Despite her outward lack of concern, she understood deep down that the damage had already been done, and that what made it worse, why was Papoose responding when he had already dealt with what he needed to deal with and was now going on? Continue with Claressa Shields, the legendary boxer. The fact that Remy and Claressa were acquainted before all of this chaos started made everything considerably more difficult.